Although Sonic is far from a scary game series, there has been a handful of scary moments and levels in the series, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about 10 of them that I compiled from my own experiences. Some may surprise you and have you saying, "Damn Brad, you were scared of that? Wuss!" And some will have you nodding in firm agreement. So let's dive on in and get freaky and creepy. Number 10. Sonic CD's US boss music. I'll never forget the first time I played this game, buying the CD-ROM version for PC and getting to the first boss and hearing this eerie piece of music. You can hear Eggman's laugh interwoven into the piece and a higher pitched laugh that I always thought was meant to be Metal Sonic, but I can't find any source to confirm this or even assert this. So maybe I am alone in thinking that. It might just be a distorted version of Eggman's laugh. The wind chimes make this one unforgettably unsettling. This definitely is the creepiest piece of music in Sonic history, without a doubt. Sorry to say that the Japanese boss music, while a decent tune, looks pretty weak in comparison. At number 9, the roller jump scare in Sonic 1's Spring Yard Zone. This motherfucker just rolls his ass out of nowhere from off screen and he scares you half to death if you're not on the upper part of the level. I remember the first time this happened, I must have jumped 10 feet in the air. Roller is an armadillo like Bandit, and while he's not imposing at all, the way he makes his appearance felt is terrifying enough. At number 8, the buzzsaw jump scare in Sonic 1 Scrap Brain Zone Act 2. What's worse than hearing the whine of an active buzzsaw? How about when one comes spinning at you from off screen as it scares the fucking shit out of you? Yeah, this was one of my first jump scares as a kid, and it definitely has stuck with me to this day. And this is after just getting the jump scare from Roller in Spring Yard Zone. Apparently, the only thing faster than Sonic in this game is my heart rate. At number 7, the rising water in Sonic 2 Chemical Plant Zone Act 2. This is not so much a scary moment now that I know what to do, but as a kid, this is where my adventure in Sonic 2 would end for about a year. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This part was scary to me. I'm speeding around this great level and suddenly a barrier comes down as the water starts to rise as a challenging platforming sequence ensues, and for some reason my child mind couldn't figure out I had to go left upon reaching the top of the shaft. I guess the moving platform just happened to not be there during all my attempts at this section. Meanwhile, I would struggle with the platforming and the drowning music would play and I was just too unnerved to continue on and would just shut the game off half the time. I think my fear was just messing with my judgment and soon it wasn't an issue. But I'll never forget what it was like to arrive at this section as a kid. At number 6, the bad ending of Knuckles Chaotix. If you fail to collect all the Chaos Rings, you're given this bad ending cutscene during the credits for your failure. This cutscene is pretty unsettling, to put it in the most mild way possible, as Metal Sonic surveys the damage of a city he has laid waste to, as imposing and evil music plays. Now this is an ominous sounding piece of music that perfectly fits the tone of the proceedings. Never before has your failure been felt to this level. There was the 8-bit version of Sonic 2 that made you feel sorry for not collecting all the Chaos Emeralds, by not letting you rescue Tails, but this is an entire city being laid to waste, so the needs of the many outweighs the needs of one. So sorry Tails, this is worse. How many lives were lost in the destruction? At number 5, Eggman and Sonic Spinball Showdown. Eggman looks absolutely petrifying during the final boss fight. His sprite is just massive, and his appearance is just downright surreal. He's truly imposing here, and this is his older, less intimidating design, mind you, but his sprite just takes things in a surprising direction. I mean, look at those piano key-like teeth and those eyes. He looks so strange, and I can never get the image of his sprite out of my head. At number 4, Rexon in Sonic Spinball Toxic Caves. Jesus Christ Almighty. I remember the first time I got a load of Rexon as a kid upon playing this game for the first time, and Sonic fell below the flippers and managed to grab hold of the platform below. Luckily, this is here for mercy, because when this happens in future levels, more times than not, it means instant death. Even if Sonic makes it to this platform, he is not safe, because a large sea serpent badnik by the name of Rexon is busy patrolling the toxic water of the cave in this area, and he's looking to take a bite out of Sonic. And the tense music that plays when he appears is quite striking and unsettling, to say the least. I just found out that the area below the flippers is called a drain on a pinball machine, so it's kind of funny that water is waiting in the drain area of the stage. At number 3, the giant Baku Baku in Sonic Lost World Secret World 4. Being chased by a giant furry beast with a gaping jaw is pretty damn terrifying. I really like the idea of being chased by an enemy in a Sonic game, and we've had a handful of moments where chases have taken place, but this is pretty much the only time it was by a giant creature. So you have to contend with avoiding releasing the smaller Baku Baku from their bubble prisons and deal with the anxiety of being chased by this gnashing monstrosity. At number 2, the Sandworms in Sonic Lost World Desert Ruins Act 1. Well, if this isn't a Beetlejuice reference, I'll eat my hat. I was always unnerved by them in Beetlejuice and their stop motion weirdness, and here they are in a Sonic game, and they're still pretty unsettling to look at, and it doesn't help when one of them unexpectedly comes out of the walls to attack you during your first playthrough. Sonic definitely got back to his Sandopolis roots, as it takes place inside a temple, very similar to the pyramid, and has to deal with scary looking enemies. There's something very surreal about the Sandworms, even being in a Sonic game in the first place. Like, look at them, they're truly bizarre looking in the context of a Sonic game, and that just makes them even creepier. At number 1, the Ghost in Sonic 3 and Knuckles Sandopolis Zone Act 2. I remember renting Sonic and Knuckles as a kid, and this scaring the fucking hell out of me. I already had one traumatic pyramid experience as a kid, and this was yet another.
You didn't tap me, did you, statue?
Sure I did. Sure you did.
As you're traveling through this ancient pyramid in Act 2 of the zone, you'll be thrown from a loop, and will make contact with a capsule that releases the ghosts from their prison. It starts off with a small, cute ghost, and it's all innocent, but the darker the pyramid gets, the more ghosts will appear, and if you don't pull one of the light switches, the bigger and more devilish they look, and if you take too long, they'll start to attack. These ghosts look pretty damn evil, and they were pretty scary to me as a kid, especially with the anxiety of needing to get to a light switch in time. I never gave it a lot of thought, but I guess Eggman trapped them inside the capsule to keep them from menacing him, being that he's in the pyramid as well. But it is conveniently waiting below a loop that Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are always going through. I guess it was for Eggman's own benefit. This way he's far enough away from the ghosts and just leaves them there as a trap for Sonic. So that about does it, guys. There's my list. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Is there any scary moments that I missed that I didn't mention that you think are scary or creepy or unsettling in a Sonic game? Please put them down below in the comments. I'd love to discuss. And guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bells to get all notifications when I post all my new videos. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the dislike button if you fucking hated it. Any Patreon donations would be greatly appreciated. Do so only if you want to. And thanks again, guys, for watching. And I'll see you next time.